The buttery, blubbery Bill Barr summary that succeeded in burying impeachable discoveries. The gun nuts who see kids killed or maimed and cough up totally absurd claims about who or what might be to blame. Seriously, dudes, video games? The fantastical line this guy repeats every time. Has his memory declined? Or has he been quarantined? And the purposeful Ukraine interference confusion designed to distract from the ironclad conclusion that it was Russia behind the 2016 intrusion. The 2019 cow pies have all gone kersplat, so we at the Recount are breaking format to survey a bleak year in this foul habitat, filled with henchmen and stooges talking out of their hat to get a pat on the back from a would-be autocrat. So we'll be giving you the high and lowlights of that, all here, on a special edition of This Year in Bullshit. It was terribly unclean, flammable as propylene, and stunk up the room like some dude stuffed with black beans. So we're calling it. Of every anim we've ever seen, the bullshittiest year of all time was 2019. And yes, we haven't forgotten about 1922. Of course, it wouldn't have been possible without some heavy lifting from the Sultan of Sweat, but not even veteran BS sniffers could have predicted how many breakout stars abandoned reason this season. Chief among them, the new AG who won the Grand Prix when it came to the circulation of rhetorical debris.
No underlying collusion would not amount to obstruction. No underlying criminal conduct. That is not a corrupt motive. Well, that's not a crime.
We all know that literally none of that stuff is true. But Mr. Barr, we bid you adieu because we have some scapegoat scampi to review. Nobody should take this next one lightly because it's arguably the most serious issue facing the country. But when an entire political party, supported by a notoriously ruthless lobby, refuses to even consider it an issue at all, then they've earned themselves an engraved plaque in the BS Hall of Fame's legendary snack shack. In 2019, the country was number than ever to mass shootings. 263 school shootings alone since Trump took office, and America's top gun defenders found it easier than ever to condemn everything except for the actual weapons, often weapons of war, that are actually killing the actual victims.
Video games,
the video game industry,
the dark corners of the internet,
mental health,
and mental illness.
We have a mental health crisis in America.
Bad people are going to do bad things.
This time of year, we're especially aware of who's been naughty and who's been nice, so we're happy to put these NRA marionettes on our list of who will spread the most corrosively misleading talking point for the right price. Now for a reality check on a repeat headline that's been getting the big font deck, coming from a Democrat who should know better, having worked in the Obama White House. It seems that every time Joe Biden presses flesh, or has a media sesh, he starts reminiscing about some alternate timeline that clearly needs a history lesson refresh.
You will see an epiphany occur among many of my Republican friends.
Wouldn't it be nice if the parties worked together? Sure, there are a lot of things that would make life better. But come on, man! Have you forgotten about McConnell? Every time your White House tried to pass a bill, Mitch was the human poison pill. His pal Boehner screwed you on the grand bargain. Then Mitch screwed you even harder on Merrick Garland. And that was all before Trump came to town. Now all the GOP does is spit polish his crown. So when you talk about how after Trump is gone, Republicans will surely calm down, it's like predicting a future where the circus has no clowns. And finally, this one's a little hard to follow because the tangents are bananas and the assertions are hollow. But the biggest bullshit bomb of the year, Ukraine did its story, is one mule-sized pill they're trying to make us swallow.
Ukraine blatantly interfered in our election.
And Ukraine meddled in the 2016 election.
Ukraine meddling in their election.
Ukrainian efforts to sabotage Trump.
Ukrainian collusion, not Russian collusion.
Tracking the conveyor belt carrying the characters and plot points in this conspiracy theory, born on the Avenue of the Americas, can make you feel like a cross between Carrie Mathison and Charlie Day. Connecting the dots with colored string on a whiteboard while listening to a first draft of a slam poem. Anyway, sports fans, that's it for a year when there was bullshit aplenty for both the common man and the cognoscenti. And we're sure that 2020 will have 20 plenty. So tune in again next week for more. Oh, fuck the outro. Let's just hope we all survive and somehow find ourselves alive for next year in bullshit.